name is Tyler Hugh, and this is my Dragon's Den assignment. So I'm going to be going over Bolt Sports from Dragon's Den. Bolt Sports is a sports training technology company, and they build products like their snipes, their dangles, and their e-cones. They're all connected to a mobile app, and it gamifies kind of training for their sport, which is hockey. Their founders are from Oakville, Ontario, and they built the company based on their background both playing and coaching the sport, so they kind of know the problems that arise for players and coaches. So the main problem that they're looking to solve is that traditional training, and I can speak on this in so much more so in hockey, is really competitive or repetitive. So you're stick handling over and over and over again, doing the exact same movement. You're shooting, and you're usually in a basement or a small confined area, and there's not much variability into it, and it gets pretty boring pretty quick. So it's also kind of difficult because you can't really track your performance over time. You don't know if you're a better stick handler. Shooting is hard to do, and know if you're getting more accurate over time unless you're writing things down, and hockey players don't like to do that. This app's really cool because it tracks all that, and it tracks your consistency, training, and your data, so athletes can stick to it and improve better. So Bolt is kind of looking to solve this by combining physical training into like a digital gamified experience. Their products obviously connect to an app, and it adds things like feedback, leaderboards, and multiplayer modes. Their value proposition is basically making training more fun and making you also take more out of it, and because you can measure it and see your data. When you compare this to traditional training tools, it's a really big improvement because the data aspect, you can really see if you are becoming a better player, and this helps you stay motivated and ultimately become better. So in my opinion, one of the strongest things about this business is their product market fit. They built something that their audience really wants, and they have reportedly reached over 2,500 users at their peak, and they grew their user base 10 times year over year, which is a really strong signal that they have a real demand and audience for this product. Bolt also really showed strong traction in the company, which is something investors really care about. They generated 1.16 million in revenue last year, and they're projecting over 2 million now. So this shows that this product isn't just an idea, it's working in the market, and it's continuing to grow. Another big thing for Bolt is that they're already profitable. They have 325,000 in adjusted profit, and this is really rare for a company in their beginning stages, and it reduces risk for investors because they're already making money, right? So if you're investing in a company that's already making money, they're usually going to end up continuing to make money. So Bolt can also be scaled up really to the sky is the limit, pretty much. Their products can be manufactured at scale, and the cool thing about it too is it can be implemented into other sports. Like for example, soccer, they have a target training game, and you can implement that right into soccer, or other things like football throwing and stuff like that. So a lot of sports can take this technology and apply it to them. So at the start of the video, Bolt asked for $300,000 for 10% of the company, and they ended up taking $400,000 for 20% of the company. This kind of shows that their initial valuation was a bit on the high side. This could have been done to adjust for negotiation with the Dragons, or it could have been done because they knew they had strong traction and real numbers to show off to the Dragons as well. Regardless, investors were still looking to make a deal with them. One thing I think Bolt could really improve upon in their pitch is that if they spend a little bit more time talking about how they kind of want to defend against competitors long term and how they're going to do this, that would kind of put investors' minds at ease. So that's always something they would kind of want to feel confident about and not shaky about, that other people are going to take into their profits. So explaining that and how they're going to defend against that would go a long way. So to conclude here, I think I would invest in Bolt Sports. They have a really strong product market fit. They have revenue coming in already, and they're already profitable. This makes it a pretty low risk opportunity compared to other startups. One thing that you do have to watch is how they continue to innovate their products and stay ahead of the competition, because people are going to try to get into their market. But it's a strong business, and it has great potential to scale.